Well, good afternoon. Today we are talking about COVID-19 and workers' compensation benefits. And one of the major benefits when you are injured on the job in Colorado is medical care 100% paid for. And medical care merits its own complete discussion about how we see COVID-19 affecting injured workers' medical care for work injuries. First thing I would like to discuss, and things that have been mentioned in the news, is whether or not injured workers can receive workers' compensation benefits if they test positive for COVID-19, and particularly medical care, et cetera. I will tell you that the major workers' compensation carrier in Colorado has indicated that they will cover COVID-19 testing. So if you have worries about being exposed to someone who's COVID-19 positive in work, you should contact your employer and seek about getting testing under workers' compensation for that. But if you do test positive for it, can you get your care covered under workers' compensation? And the answer, as always, is it depends. You are going to have to prove absolutely, you're going to have to prove to a preponderance that you contracted COVID-19, not at home, not going around, not at the store, but at work. And frankly, in our opinion, absent you being a first responder or medical care professional, it's going to be challenging and difficult unless you can point to a particular person who tested positive. Otherwise, chances are it's not going to get covered. Other issues, if you're just treating for your injury and you have COVID-19, Andrew, you're going to talk about that and what some pitfalls may happen.
Right. So one of the things we're seeing in this very unprecedented situation is that there's no central guidance by any real body saying that medical offices should shut down or giving any type of guidance. So we're having a number of clients reach out and tell us that their medical offices are closed or they're canceling appointments. And that can present a problem to a claimant, because if you are trying to attend a physical therapy appointment, or you're trying to see any of your specialists, or even if you've been asked to attend a demand appointment and that office isn't open, it can create some issues for you where the insurance carrier can claim that you're non-compliant with your treatment and try to terminate certain benefits. So if you run into a situation where where you haven't gotten notice of an appointment, being canceled or rescheduled, you need to make sure that you either contact the provider, certainly, try to reach out by phone and let them know you're not trying to avoid the appointment, but even better, try to make some type of written record, either by email to the adjuster or to the medical clinic itself, to make sure that you've essentially showed that it's not your fault and you've not tried to avoid that medical treatment. That's the biggest issue that happens when the providers are canceling out from under you. Now, the next issue that Rhonda's going to discuss is what happens if you feel like you don't want to attend those appointments. So I'll let you fill them in on that.
Okay. So we do have some clients that have assessed that they're what we might call in the high-risk group, or they're concerned about exposing somebody else in their household or that they have contact with that's high risk. And so they decide that they don't feel like they want to take that risk by going to their medical appointments. If you make that decision, what's best is to make sure you're communicating that very clearly with the provider. You want to make sure you're communicating that, if you're our client, of course, with us, or with the insurance carrier, if you don't have representation, to let them know you've made that decision. And again, that you're not just trying to avoid your treatment. And then there will be ways, there's other things we're going to suggest to you as far as trying to explore how can you get your treatment when you've made that decision to go ahead and distance yourself from your medical providers. And so Michael Kaplan would love to tell you some of those options that you have.
Understand that we prioritize your health over all benefits that you can receive from the work comp system. And with that being said, one of the alternatives that the work comp system allows injured workers to do is participate in their treatment via what's called telemedicine. The Colorado Medical Treatment Guidelines affords an injured worker the ability to call in if their provider engages in telemedicine. That is an alternative that they can seek with their provider. So hypothetically, let's say you don't want to go into the doctor, you're afraid that you're going to get the virus. If you go into a provider's office, you can communicate with them and quite frankly, you call them, but also as Andrew advised, email them saying, hey, may I attend an appointment via telemedicine so that I can keep up with my treatment. It's not the first, for us and our clients, it's not the thing that we would want them to do all the time, but during this, in the wake of the COVID-19 epidemic, we think that this is an excellent option for those who want to keep on getting treatment and show, and take responsibility for their health as we, as we go through this period of time. For those of you who are also worried about going out and about these days, there is an alternative in regard to getting your prescriptions filled via a mail-in pharmacy. What we advise all of our clients to do is use what's called Injured Workers Pharmacy, IWP. IWP is a great resource for all of our clients who are receiving or are being prescribed medications as a result of their work-related injury. It's very simple to use in that you ask your provider to author the script, and that script is sent to IWP, and then you get your medications that day or a day after delivered right to your home. Britton, anything else on this topic?
The other thing that, again, in addition to telemedicine, it can be through Zoom technology. You can get your physical therapist to go through and evaluate home exercise routines for you. There are a lot of options, but the most important thing is that you have somebody advising you about the options that you have when you're injured on the job here in Colorado. Kaplan Morrell, we've been helping injured and disabled workers and their families since 1997, and we would love to be able to help you. We offer free consultations, obviously by video, and you can reach us at 970-356-9898. You can go to our website and follow the links there to contact us, and we would be happy to help you.